Wow, what a vibe. This is one of the best methods to promote your dystopian world. If your tagline is Sin Resonance Brutal RPG, then this is the perfect screen to accompany such a game. But every time I booted up the game, I always wondered, isn't that a bit ridiculous? Sure, that's the appeal, but I'm very doubtful that every single one of these content descriptors is 100% warranted. So, let's find out if all of them are true. Hi, name is Benno and I'm here to answer questions that nobody asked. This content warning screen was first featured in a promotional video for a Limbus company, but then was edited a bit and added into the game during the release of Canto 8. It's a very striking visual, more alluring than repelling, at least for me. So why not see what these warnings are really talking about? This will be a video with much less scripting than usual. I'm trying to make some content that doesn't take several months to edit. Okay, pass into the off-script Benno here. Bye bye. Hi again. This will be pretty much my first time looking at these content descriptors. They're a bit ridiculous in the amount of them. I've never seen like a warning screen like this before. I'm not sure if all of these are warranted because like I've been playing Limbus for quite some time, right, since launch, and all the cruelty and gore doesn't really shake me up as much anymore. So maybe I'm just numb to it. But okay, let's see what we're dealing with. It's gonna be like a good trip down the memory lane, I guess. So first of all, we got animal cruelty. Off the cuff, Canto 4 with the wingless chicken who like regenerate their wings. I think that counts, and the calf as well, since it gets killed in the end by Donrang. The funny squirrel that gets struck by lightning. The seagull baby in Canto 5. I'm not sure. It was riding on like a bicycle and a unicycle. Like Ryoshu was probably torturing it or something. But I'm just joking here. The seagull probably didn't really suffer anything, right? He was just having fun. And I'm not sure if the abnormalities count, right? Like brazen bull, the fox, all the other animal-based abnormalities, if they even count. Even some distortions, like the chicken from 3.5. If they count, then there's quite a lot of animal cruelty. And yeah, that might be a big turn-off for some newcomers. So yeah, it's not cool to like mess with animals, but whatever. Drug use. And Keflin, straight up, the game mechanic pretty much like presents itself, right? It's not. I don't think it's used exactly as a drug in Limbus. It's more so obvious in WAP-Corp that it is a drug. Other examples probably like K-Corp ampules, right? They probably count as drugs, even though like they are the good kind of drug. They're like the regenerating ones. And maybe like food additives like the porridge the N-Corp Inquisitors eat that brainwashes them. That probably counts as well. But other than that, there's surprisingly little like drug use, considering that the Backstreets are pretty much like the ghetto of the city. So you'd expect a little bit more of that, but I guess it's fine. References to alcohol and tobacco. All right, obviously, Gregor Ryoshu, our chain smokers. The alcohol, it's a bit less obvious. We got recently the assassin guy from Canto 8, who has like a gourd, I believe, and I don't remember anymore. I don't think there's any more alcohol references here. Weird. You'd also think that it would be pretty widespread, along with drug use, right? I remember the wine from T Corp Rodion. Yeah, that's also a thing that happened. Yeah. Okay. We got some alcohol, yeah. It's not like very explicit, but it's there. Injury and dismemberment. The whole game, pretty much. Like the prologue just straight up starts with Regilius cutting up everyone and the Iori goons just trashing our sinners. A lot of like head dismemberment, like Yuri, most memorable example being. So yeah, pretty much the whole game is just this warning right here. Homicide and unaliving. I guess the most recent example would be Honlu presenting his immortality before the elders. It's more like assisted unaliving, I guess, if it counts as that even. Yeah, I think that's like the... Maybe I'm forgetting like a lot of stuff here. Like in the main story, I believe that it's the only kind of unaliving that we witness. I'm probably totally wrong, but I also remember in like kind of side lore here, N-Corp side like machines, N-Corp unaliving machines, right? I suppose the kind of dispensing the Canto experiences of death. So yeah, that's also mentioned, and of course the recent like trend of identities with self-combustion mechanics, let's say. It's also very representative of this warning. But yeah, violence and torture. So violence, of course, yeah, we know that. Torture, however, is a bit less pronounced. Canto 3, the whole Canto 3 dungeon is about that. I also remember that District 23 cannibals do torture for flavor to bring out like more tasty like experience, whatever. And there's probably like some like dismemberment cases where a character gets like their legs or arms chopped off and left to like bleed out. So that may be counted as torture, but I don't know about that. Cannibalism. District 23, as I said, right? A lot of that is happening. I'm not sure if it happens in other districts. They say that it's not exactly forbidden, right, in the lore, but it's not like accepted either. It's a kind of light taboo. But in District 23, it's like totally accepted. It's fine. Yeah, so that's obvious. Kidnapping, abduction, and captivity. Okay. Also Canto 3, I think, because they like took people from the village and tortured them in the basement. I think that's what happened. Also kidnapping of like food in District 23, like food meaning people. Counter 2 mines. It's not. It's captivity, I think, but it's not exactly kidnapping. It's more like slavery. Why isn't? Question: why isn't slavery one of the warnings? It's genuinely like a good question here. I guess slavery does fall under captivity somewhat, but right. The whole Count of 6 thing, right? Where people just start to disappear from the streets. Yeah, that all happened. Yeah, okay. There's a lot. I guess in the main story there are some cases, so okay, that's good to know. Not good, but you know, it's something that happens. Psychosis, that's distortions. Yeah, just distortions. Probably there are some psychos like Kromer and Ahab probably falls under that. The whole deal of like distortions, right, and also like ego corrosions are kind of like psychosis, right? So yeah, everything that is connected to Carmen, pretty much, that's like psychosis adjacent. So yeah, she's pretty much the embodiment of mental illness in the city. That's what I'm gonna say. Diseases, seizure, and
dyspnea.
Diseases, seizure, and let me check. Difficult or labored breathing. Alright. So this is Thoracalgia. This is everyone after every battle ever. If it's not sure if it's supposed to be a content warning, like genuine, but okay, whatever. Diseases. Diseases is interesting, since in LobCorp we know that every disease in the city has already been cured. Every conventional one, at least. Except the disease of the mind, but I'm pretty sure that's not what is referenced here. So I'm just gonna say that this might refer to Canto 1, like G Corp mutations. And perhaps even the whole deal with Blood Fiends, since it's like kind of like a generational curse. So that might also fall under this category. And also, not all Backstreet dwellers can afford medicine, so, you know, that's also a thing. Seizures is probably happened somewhere. I don't know who would get a seizure in a setting. Like, did we see anyone get a seizure? Like, maybe Don Quixote because she's so overexcited over time. So like, she sees a fixer and like throbs at the mount. Oh my god, it's what's his name? The K Corp, Siegfried. It's Siegfried. Oh my god, I'm gonna go. And just falls and dies or something. Unironically, the dyspnoea, whatever, could also be Don Quixote, like hyperventilating. That happened. That certainly happened. Yeah. Familial homicide and domestic violence. Canto 8, just the entirety of Canto 8. Canto 7 as well, because Blood Fiends are kind of like family. Not like traditional family, you know, like they're not born of each other, but still, that probably counts. I'm pretty sure Canto 6 also counts because of Heathcliff and Hindley, since Heathcliff is the adopted son of the Earnshaw family, and they're kind of like brothers in that sense. And of course, when the sinners exact violence on each other, and if you think about them like, oh, we are the Lim family, we are bestest friends, oh my god, we love each other. Don't care if Dante says that we are colleagues, doesn't matter, we're the family. And each time Heathcliff caves Sinclair's skull in with a bat, yeah, that's domestic violence, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Reference to clowns. Okay, I paid attention to this back when the trailer first came out, and I was like, okay, we're gonna get 8 o'clock circus. But no, that's not the case. In fact, the more I thought about it, like Limbus doesn't have any clown references. We have a lot of clownery. Don Quixote, right? The carnival in Canto 7, kind of clownery, you know, because of all the attractions. But no, that's not exactly clown, you know. We have something connected tangentially to 8 o'clock circus in the form of Don Sinclair, but he is like in his ego state, like being teleported out of the library by Oscar. So that's not, no, that doesn't track. This is fake. This is not a content descriptor that should be here. The only exception might be being like the potential, the clown like ordeal from Lobotomy Corp. But yeah, other than that, this is fake. Shouldn't be here. Themes of occultism and spiritualism. Spiritualism. All right, several abnormalities follow this. My Four Empties, for one. Doomsday Calendar, also. Like all the abnormalities that have ads and also have some religious like connotations, right? I would say like White Knight, but it's not in Limbus, so yeah. But these two are what came to my mind like immediately. It's a stretch to call Canto 8. Canto 8 have to do with something like occult and religion and spiritualism, you know. It's not exactly it doesn't say religious religion, right? But occultism can be like fucked up sort of religion, if that makes sense. I'm not sure about this, but we have some representation of that. Yeah, audio-visual depictions of gore. Yeah, whole lot. Canto 1, if dismemberment counts, prologue. The most recent, like, shocking example is Canto 8, right, with the whole Kong family debacle, right? And that's we got that in spades. Yeah. Uses of sharp and pointed objects. Okay. Yes, of course. This is real weird. Is this like a legit warning descriptor that we need to be made aware of? Seems like padding for me, like to just like, oh, shock value, got all this scary red text. Oh, play our game. It's very edgy. Yeah, sure. Sharp and pointed objects, whatever. Hospital and medical references. Otis comes to mind because of her base ego art, where she has like on her shoulder the staff of Caduceus, I believe, or Slepius. I always mix those two. But also the whole like quartet of Greek abnormalities that are in the hospital. I believe it's like Hydra, Cyclops, another I don't remember. Yeah, the Silent Hill, the Silent Hill nurses. Yeah, these ones. But other than that, K Corp probably also kind of fits because of the ampules, and maybe Canto 8 of the whole bosses thing. That's I think that's has somewhat to do with medicine. So yeah, we got that. It's weird that you have to be warned about hospitals. I guess some people do have kind of like PTSD from that, if they had like a botched surgery. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. Yeah, references to gaslighting and bullying. Okay, Ahab, just Ahab. Kromer, bullying, Kromer, just everything that has to do with Sinclair, pretty much interacting with anyone. That's bullying. And a little bit of gaslighting as well. So yeah, we got those. Yeah. Okay, that's body modification and or deformation. Okay, Gregor, sure. Almost every ID of Gregor has something to do with his arm. So yeah, we got deformation and body modification with the prosthetics. The multi-crack office also has that. Canto 3 as well with the prosthetics. I'd argue that body modification is just like everywhere, since most, if not all, combatants, all the fixers and syndicate members, everyone has some sort of augmentation, and it's usually like some kind of surgery or prosthetic or something like that. So we got that like going on like in spades. Yeah. Maybe that's mentioned in Dante's notes. I haven't read all of them. Like maybe it's something about fixers and how they are all like pretty much half robots, half cyborgs, right? Because they have so much like augmentations in them. It's not really fully explained how these procedures even work, right? But yeah, pretty much everyone who can fight in the city has some sort of body modification. Flashing lights, photosensitivity. I feel like every game nowadays has that. But the Coffin Man comes to mind. The funny horse guy. Counter 6 also has like lightning flashes and stuff, so that might also count. Counter 5 as well. Like the blind obsession skill has a flash. Ego skills have like a flash before they pop. Disorientation induced by a shaking camera. Pretty much every single skill free that strikes an enemy who is staggered, especially the enemies who are unkillable, like they stay at a 1 or 0 HPs, like the cyborgs, the shock centipede, they like shake really violently when they're struck, especially by high damaging skills, usually skill freeze, right? and because of that the animations lengthened and so on. But if we talking about general disorientation, I think the skill Risky Judgement from Mower Ishmael is gonna fit here perfectly because of the spinning camera, right? It's not shaking, right? It's spinning, but still, that may induce some motion sickness as well. Blazing Strike as well from Don Sinclair got a lot of that shaking, especially on weak enemies or staggered enemies, right? It's got even a slow-mo effect to like underline the impact. Really cool skill, but still the shaking is can be a bit too violent. Strong language and demeaning words. Dante. In all seriousness, it's Heathcliff. It's that one scene with Ryoshu in Canto 2 as well, because she says a lot of censored stuff. The game doesn't shy away from profanity. It's not like overbearing like with some other games, right? Where the gore is like cartoonishly like plentiful, and the swearing it's a lot. But Limbus is a bit more modest in that regard, and I do respect it for it. Reference to traffic accidents. Oh boy. Prologue where it's Panther, I believe, gets or no, it's not Panther. It's Lion. Yeah, Lion gets hit by Mephistopheles. The April Fool's event as well, and there was an animated CG in Time Killing Time, where a dude is being hit by a car, pretty dramatically. Uses of guns and instruments of violence. Just say weapons. This is a bit more padding, I think, for the sake of like obtuseness. Guns and instruments of violence. It just sounds like you're naming your sword like Durando or something. You edgy piece of shit. Joking, but yeah, guns. Rabbit. R-Corp rabbits, Full Stop Office, the Thumb, even though their guns are not exactly guns, with their East Branch kind of propulsion rounds, but still. And Instruments of Violence is just like any weapon, really. So we got plentiful of those. Discriminatory violence, Kromer. Yeah, Kromer with the kill all prosthetics thing. Also, the general like attitude towards blood fiends, which is more exhibited in the Fang Hunt fixers. Very racist towards blood fiends. Yeah, we got a lot of that stuff as well. We're not exactly lingering on it, like with blood fiends a little bit, right? But still, we got those as well. Religious torture and violence. Again, Kromer. Because she has inquisitors, and like inquisitors kind of like religious, has a religious connotation here. I believe, maybe totally wrong here, probably not. The Church of Gears Walpurgis event also shows the scene pretty much from library, where there's like torture, and her cult is like pretty much indoctrinating him for torture. Enforced ideology and or actions. Again, Kromer. Holy hell. Kromer pretty much fits like half of these descriptors, right? It's real weird, but also not really, because this content warning screen was made during season 1, so most of these were already present in the game on launch day. But some of those things were not, but I guess they were like kind of foreshadowed. But yeah, the clown one is still not happening. But yeah, enforced ideology, Kromer, yeah, and Corp brainwashing, all that stuff. Ahab, supposedly, because she pretty much brainwashes her crew. Let's be honest here. The brainwashing effect is kind of like strengthened because of the pallid whale, but yeah, I think Ahab somewhat like fits here because enforced actions. They're pretty much forced to do her bidding. And war and mass conflict, Canto 1, yeah, the smoke war. And it could have been Canto 8 with the foreshadowed War of the Wings that we never got, and we'll probably, I really hope we get something in the intervallo, the Shichun intervallo, but one can hope. So yeah, that's it. Off script, Veno out, I guess. Yeah. And there's that. We got some padding and one false descriptor, but otherwise everything's fine. What did we learn? Next Walpurgis, we're gonna fight Red Dusk, and Dawn of S.A.N.G.R.I.A will instantly get minus 90 SP at turn start and get another buff in the form of the Crying Children form. Like, subscribe, expect next video never. Bye bye.